Namaskaram, a very good morning. I would like to thank Sri Murli Raghavan and the convener of Navadisha conference, Apurva, for inviting me here and also getting me more nervous than I am before presenting a new Varnam during the season. My topic is contemporariness in content in Bharatanatyam. My background in my family life was very removed from the arts. I did not grow up listening to Carnatic music or watching Bharatanatyam. The first thing that I engaged with through dance was the different languages, Tamil, Telugu, Sanskrit. And none of these were my mother tongue or languages that I heard often. It was during this engagement that I realized the value of what the text has to offer to dance. How the sub-question to the subject is, how do we as youngsters negotiate with this content? I think what works most of the time is when an artist has found conviction and meaning in the chosen text, and the voice of the poet then becomes the voice of the dancer, and what the audience experiences is a narrative that is born out of that understanding. And therefore what we finally see in the end is a story or a character that is based on the text, but is purely the dancer's imagination. In this process, there is also a methodology of handling a text, as well as the methodology of imagining the scope of the text. Because Bharatanatyam has a very strong grammar, it is very important to make sure that we are using the tools of that grammar rather than going against it. Text, to me also, I have slowly realized, is a framework filled with limitless potential. Not just, it's more of a starting point from where on we are able to layer ideas. I think this I learned in the past, in my stay in Chennai and my learning from my Guru Srimati Priyadarshini Govind, where the text is looked at as a beginning. It's where you take off from, and then you begin to think not like the poet, but from what the poet has created for you. The other scope of text is where you're trying to create an experience for the audience, something that they have not necessarily experienced in real life, but you're bringing to life on stage through the text that you've chosen to present. As young students, we learn various methodologies on how to treat text in dance. For example, when we are doing a Shabdam versus doing a Varnam versus doing a Padam or a Javali. And it is important to recognize how our teachers and senior performers are engaging with this text, because it is always different. And it's only when we use these methodologies that we are able later on to deal with texts that are not formatted in a very traditional way. A lot of the times friends ask us why we are constantly going back to traditional texts about a time that we have never seen and never experienced. What is it in those texts that makes it so vital for us as classical dancers to engage with and present again and again? As an individual, I feel that in today's world, we are influenced by so many cultures globally. We are not bound by where we physically are, but we are able to know and hear and experience things that are far beyond from where we are. But this is my understanding and my process of negotiating with the content that we present today. Thank you.